Larry the Legend here with Mobile Coins. I recently had an opportunity to speak with one of my customers who was very interested in, doing some coin roll hunts, and he just didn't really know how to get started about it. So this is going to be a tutorial for all the new people that want to start coin roll hunting. So number one, what exactly is coin roll hunting? Coin roll hunting is going to a financial institution and buying boxes, cases of product such as pennies, nickels, or quarters. You could even do dimes and half dollars. I don't have the empty boxes to show you, but you're able to go through a vast amount of coins and pull out anything that's valuable or collectible. Then whatever's left over, you could re-roll it and take it back to the bank. That's the whole idea of coin roll hunting. Now, first thing you want to do before starting into coin roll hunting is you got to figure out what you want to coin roll hunt. Is it going to be pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, dollars? You could do all of them. What I would suggest for the new people starting out is just pick one denomination and do it. Master it. Start off on pennies. It's really cheap. Case of pennies is $25. The tools that you're going to need to do it is, of course, the money. If you do come across older ones like key dates and everything, you are going to need 2x2 flips. This is a 2x2 flip. It's just a piece of cardboard with the cellophane. You put the coin in, fold it in half, and you staple it shut. This one just happens to be a nickel, and you put the staples around with your handy stapler. And don't forget, on the back, you do want to use needle nose pliers and crimp it down. That way you don't get staple drag damaging other coins in your collection. Alright, and you are going to want to get a magnifying glass or a loupe. A jeweler's loupe also works. This allows you to look at the coins under greater magnification. You have your trusty Whitman folders. They do come in all the different denominations, and they have different year sets that you can go through. This one just happens to be the 1909 through the 1940. Alright, and you're always going to want to ask your bank for paper wrappers so you can wrap your coins back up. Now, a lot of banks, they do not have the coin counting machines, so they do require you to hand roll the coins. They're not going to let you just bring in a sack of coins and say, here you go. Certain banks, they do have requirements where, like Wells Fargo, you could only deposit $100 at a time. Anything over $100, then they charge you. The best place to go is you want to set up a dump bank. And the best place is a credit union. Credit unions, certain credit unions, they do have a coin counting machine. And if you are a member, they don't charge you to use it. So you use the credit union as your dump bank. You get all your coins from everywhere else in town, And when you're done going through everything, you go to your dump bank, you dump those coins, and you can take the money out and use it for other products. You don't want to buy coins from your dump bank. Maybe once in a great while, but you never ever want to take your coins back to the same bank you got them from, ever. All right, so we're going to look at the different ones individually. If you want to start off in pennies, there's 4 generations of pennies now. You have your Indian head pennies that went from 1959 through 1909. That was first generation of pennies. You are not going to find a Flying Eagle penny. It's, as far as I know, it's never ever been found in a coin roll hunt, ever. So, you're looking for the Indian head pennies. That's first generation. The second generation would be your Lincoln wheat cents. They ran from 1909 to 1958. The next generation is your Lincoln Memorial pennies. They went from 1959 until 2008. And then you have your modern shield pennies. Those ran from 2010 until the present date. The only exception is your 2009s. For the anniversary, 200th anniversary of Lincoln's death, they made the 2009 4 different reverses for the Lincolns. They have the birthplace, formative years, professional life, and presidency. All right, so of course, anything you want to pull out when you're coin roll hunting sense is anything before 1959. All your wheat pennies, all your Indian heads. You really want to pull all those out. If you're looking to save copper as well, you're going to want to pull anything before 1982. And of course, you want to look for your 2009s. Okay. The next one is the nickel. The nickel, you have the shield nickels, first generation. Then it went on to the V nickels. Then Buffalo nickels. Then you had your Jefferson nickels. And then the new generation is the modern Jefferson nickels. It has a different face. Instead of a profile, it has the full frontal face of Jefferson on it. Now, for the nickels, you want to save anything before. Some people want to do before 60s. Some people do it 64. Me personally, I do it 1961 and earlier. I save all of those because I do starter books as well. And the Whitman book for the Jefferson Memorial, or the Monticello, is from 1938 until 1961. So that's where my cutoff is. And of course, you do want to save the 2009s as well. As far as dimes go, anything before 1965 is silver. You would have your Barber dimes, Mercury dimes, Roosevelt dimes from 1946 until 1964. They are 90% silver. From 65 until the present day, they're all clad. The only ones you do want to save out of that series is, of course, anything before 1965. You do want to save your 2009s and your 1996 W. They only made it 1 year. You're probably not going to find it. They are so hard to find. It was 1 year. They did a mintage in West Point. Those pennies were struck as 1996 W. Less than, I think it was like only like a million were minted. So they are very hard to find. Next is your quarters. The quarters, you have your seated quarters, standing Liberty quarters. You have your Washington quarters, and the Washington quarters go all the way up until the present date. In 1999, they did do the 50 state series, which was a complete success. So they went ahead and did state parks, and they're currently doing state parks up until 2021, and that's when they're going to finish that series. We don't know what's going to happen after that. What you're looking for in quarters, anything before, again, 1965 is 90% silver. So you want to pull all those out. And the 2009s are low mintages as well. There's six different no, is it 6 or 8? It's either 6 or 8 different coins out of that series. They're the U.S. territory quarters, and they are low mintage as well. Next is your half dollars. Now the half dollars, of course, you're looking for the Barber, the Franklin, the Kennedy, and everything before 19, and the Walking Liberties. I almost forgot the Walking Liberties. So the Barber, Walking Liberties, Franklins, and Kennedys. Now, with the half dollars, the Kennedys, anything before 1965 is 90% silver. So the 1964 Kennedy half dollar, that's 90% silver, and everything before that is also 90% silver. That's your Franklins, Walkers, and Barbers. Now, 1965 to 1970, they did make the half dollar Kennedys 40% silver, so you could collect those silvers all the way up until that year. And do keep in mind, 1970 was not issued in circulation. They were mints. They were in mint sets only, but over the years they have worked their way into circulation. The other years that you do want to look out for is your 1987. That is a NIFC, not intended for circulation. Very, very low mint run on that. And then they stopped making the half dollars for the general public circulation in 2001. So for 2002 until present day, all those half dollars that you find are NIFCs, not intended for circulation. And like before, over the years, they do manage to work their way into circulation. People crack open mint sets, and they wind up getting put in change jars and dumped in the bank or the coin hoppers, and they wind their way up in circulation. The last one is the US $1. There's two different types. You have the large dollars and you have the small dollars. Large dollars would be your Eisenhower dollars, and they only made them for 7 years, 1971 until 1978. The big dollars before that, they stopped making in 1935. So, and those are your Morgan dollars. You're not going to see those that often turn up in a bank, because a lot of people already know those big silver dollars are something special. You still can find the Eisenhower dollars in banks every once in a while. They are not silver unless they were a special mint set. And those are called the brown Ikes, or the blue Ikes. I'm sorry, the blue Ikes, and those are 40% silver. And the small dollars, that would be your Sacagawea. Oh, I'm sorry. The first one would be your Susan B. Anthony. They almost look like a quarter, same size, same color. Almost look like a quarter. They weren't very popular. Then they moved on to the gold dollars, the Sacagaweas, and the presidential dollars. Now, nothing too uncommon about those, nothing of great value. But if you have the books, they're great to collect and put them in your books. All right. So, this is going to conclude the coin roll hunting tutorial. You guys just have a great time with this. As you're looking through the coins, get your kids involved. I mean, this is great. You can ask them questions like, how many years did this coin run? How many years did it run? Let them do the math. It's a great math teaching skill. Not only that, as you're learning about the coins, you're also learning about history. This is an awesome opportunity to teach your kids something that they will not learn in school. I mean, they'll learn one part of the history and everything, but they won't know how the coins is involved with the history of the country. That's only something you learn through experience, or someone that's in the business teaches you. When I went to school, I learned all about World War II and all that, but you know what, when it comes to coins, man, there's a lot more involved in that. So brush up on your coins, and you also brush up on your history. Your kids will love it, and they'll thank you for it later. Have a wonderful time. Happy hunting, and we'll see you on the flip side.